The air in Ravi's shop hummed with the quiet tick-tock of countless clocks. It was a symphony of time, a chorus of moments passing. The scent of aged wood and polished brass hung heavy in the air. Ravi, with his shock of silver hair and eyes that held the wisdom of ages, surveyed his domain. He was a craftsman of time, a mender of broken hours. His hands, gnarled with years of dedicated work, moved with the precision of a surgeon over the delicate gears and springs of an antique clock. Ravi had always been drawn to the intricate mechanisms that govern time. As a young boy, he would spend hours in his grandfather's clock shop, mesmerized by the rhythmic dance of pendulums and the delicate balance of gears. He learned to read the language of time, to decipher the stories whispered by each tick and tock. To Ravi, clocks were not mere machines, they were repositories of memories, keepers of moments lost and found. Each clock held its own unique rhythm, its own distinct voice. There were grandfather clocks, tall and stately, their deep chimes resonating with an air of bygone eras. There were cuckoo clocks, whimsical and charming, their cheerful calls marking the passing hours. And there were pocket watches, small and intimate, their delicate hands tracing the passage of time on miniature dials. Ravi knew them all, their histories, their secrets, their souls. He was the clock whisperer, the keeper of their stories. One cloudy afternoon, a young woman walked into Ravi's shop. She had fiery red hair and eyes that shimmered with an otherworldly light. Her name was Maya, and she was from a future where time travel was not just a fantasy. Maya carried herself with a quiet intensity, her gaze sharp and curious as she took in the countless clocks that adorned the shop. There was a sense of urgency about her, a longing for something just beyond reach. Ravi, ever perceptive, noticed the faint shimmer around Maya's silhouette, a subtle distortion in the air that hinted at her origins. He had heard whispers of time travelers, of individuals who could navigate the currents of time, but he had dismissed them as mere legends, fantastical tales spun by dreamers and madmen. Yet here she was, standing in his shop, her very presence defying the laws of time as he knew them. "You seek something," Ravi stated, his voice barely a murmur above the rhythmic ticking of his charges. It was not a question, but a knowing observation. Maya's eyes widened slightly, a flicker of surprise crossing her features. "You see it then?" she asked, her voice barely audible. "The anomaly, the shift, time." Ravi led Maya to the back of his shop, to a dusty corner hidden from view. There, shrouded in a moth-eaten velvet cloth, lay a clock unlike any other. It was ancient, crafted from a dark, shimmering metal that seemed to absorb the light. Its face was a complex tapestry of intricate symbols and glyphs, their meanings lost to the passage of time. This was no ordinary timepiece. This was a clock that held the power to manipulate the very fabric of time itself. The air around the clock seemed to crackle with an unseen energy, a palpable aura of power that sent shivers down Ravi's spine. He had found the clock years ago, hidden away in a forgotten chamber beneath a long-demolished cathedral. It called to him, whispered promises of untold power, of the ability to reshape destiny itself. But something in its presence filled him with unease, a primal fear that warned him against tampering with its power. He had kept it hidden all these years, afraid of its power, of the temptation it represented. But Maya, with her knowledge from the future, recognized its significance instantly. "This is it," she breathed, her gaze fixed on the forbidden clock. "This is the key to understanding time travel, to unraveling the mysteries of the temporal realm." Ravi's fingers hovered over the clock's surface. He could almost feel its power thrumming beneath his fingertips. The clock whispered to him, a siren song of temptation and despair. It promised him a chance to revisit his past, to undo the one regret that haunted his waking hours. He could save his beloved wife Anya from the accident that had claimed her life years ago. The pain of her loss was a dull ache in his chest, a wound that refused to heal. He could almost see her face, hear her laughter echoing through the empty chambers of his heart. The clock offered him a chance to rewrite history, to erase the pain and bring her back into his arms. But deep down, he knew that tampering with time came at a terrible cost. Maya sensed his turmoil, the battle raging within his soul. "The past is a dangerous place," she warned, her voice filled with a wisdom beyond her years. Changing even the smallest detail can have unforeseen consequences, rippling outward to alter the very fabric of existence.